It's a bit early to be going down this rabbit hole, but you know we can't help it. Lions fans, we got that Kool-Aid on reserve. We might slide it to the back of the refrigerator. We might even keep it in powder form, but it's always around us all the time. And with the Senior Bowl getting close, free agency after that, you know, the Kool-Aid, we're starting to scoop it out a little tablespoon at a time. So with that being said, how would the Detroit Lions fare in the NFC North in 2022? Now, this is the way too early talk about this, but I think we have to talk about it. And I think it's a good to have this dialogue because for the first time in over 15 years, I mean, really, the NFC North is in flux. We've had two coaches and GMs fired in the last week. Bears GM and coach, the Vikings GM and coach. That leaves Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, and the Green Bay Packers. Now, they've dominated our division for as long as I can remember. And Aaron Rodgers, he may stay, he may go. And if that happens, then the NFC North is wide open. But with the Detroit Lions already going through that last year and the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears having to go through it this year, what do you think the odds are that the Detroit Lions could be better than the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears? Will be in his second year. We don't really know. I mean, in college, he looked great, but we don't really know how he will do his second year. Will he overcome the stigma that follows Ohio State quarterbacks? He will have a new coach and a new general manager, and we have yet to see them draft. Now, as far as the Minnesota Vikings, they've had stellar drafts with Zimmer and Spielman, but those guys are gone. And Kirk Cousins might not be the answer. Will they move on from him? Now, he's owed a lot of guaranteed money. But that doesn't mean that he'll be a Viking in 2022. He could be. But even if he is, you have the fact that Kirk Cousins has never been able to take the Minnesota Vikings or the Washington football team in that regard to the next level, and he's shown that in Minnesota. So the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears, while not going through a rebuild like we were, they're going through more of that retool that Brad Holmes spoke about when he came here, but we all knew it was a rebuild. So that I want to ask you guys a question. How do you think the Detroit Lions could fare in this way too early NFC North prediction? The opponents have already been released, and we'll talk about that later. But my focus this year is the state of the NFC North and those two teams that have decided that they're going to move on from their coach and GM. Then you have the anomaly that is Aaron Rodgers. Will he stay? Will he go? Now, I have a theory. If Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, both him and Davante Adams will stay put. Now, they can franchise tag Davante Adams, and I think Aaron Rodgers could demand a trade, but all the drama that went on last year. However, if they lose a Super Bowl, then I think Aaron Rodgers will put on his diva hat and force his way out of Green Bay. So that is my thought. Now, if that happens, the NFC North is wide open for the first time in probably over 15 years, that it will be somebody else probably at the top other than Green Bay. I mean, we've seen Jordan Love, and I don't really think he's ready to lead a franchise, let alone the Green Bay Packers, to a division title. So it's way too early. I'm not saying we're going to win a division. I'm not saying any of that stuff yet. I'm simply saying, think about the place that the Lions are in. Everything, the flux that's about to happen in Green Bay if they don't win. Even if they do win, the two other teams, the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears, I mean, currently they're looking for both a coach and a general manager. Speaking of coaches, former Detroit Lions head coach Jim Caldwell has interviewed for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now he has an interview set up for the Chicago Bears. But that's going to be another video if he gets hired, and that should be intriguing. So leave it in the comments below. How do you think the Detroit Lions, how do you think it's lining up, knowing what we have in draft capital, knowing what we have in cap space for the 2022 season as far as the NFC North is concerned? You guys are awesome. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, go Lions.